Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Guys, today we're going to go for a second official full review of one of the characters or uniform of the update Thor Ragnarok. Today we're going to go with Skurge the Executioner. Sorry for the bad English here, guys. Um, so Skurge is actually a pretty decent character. I think he's the underrated characters of this update. He might not have the damage output of some of the good combat characters in the game, but he is pretty strong. He has a really strong defense. You'll see when we look at this at the skills, guys. He might actually be a potential guy for Alliance Battle Extreme combat villain for free-to-play players. That's going to be tested during this video. So, with that said, guys, let's take a quick look at his skills. Then, what we get skills, ISO, and custom gear. Just get a global idea of what we're doing. Also, what we're going to do today in this video, guys. We are going to take Skurge into Wall Boss, Alliance Battle Extreme, and a story mission. Want to see how he does against Wall Boss, which shouldn't be an issue with his survivability. We want to see if he's actually a potential candidate for Alliance Battle Extreme combat villain, and we want to see how he actually does on autoplay for a story mission and that kind of gameplay. So, like I said, first let's take a quick look at how he is built. First, let's take a look at my stat sheet. You saw he's ranked number 8 in the world right now. Once people discover him and say, hey, he's actually pretty good, and they rank him up, I'm going to go down really fast in the ranking. So here, while we are running with 50% reduced cooldown, 49.9% in your defense, the basic, you can see his critical damage is 185% and critical rate 46%. His critical rate is actually, his cap for critical rate is actually not 75% in the stat sheets because of his skills. We're going to see exactly how much his skills give him in a minute. And attack speed, well, attack speed seems to be still bug a little bit. We have 3.33 plus 15.10, so we actually have about 18.5% attack speed, which should be good enough for what we want to do with him. So if we take a quick look at his skills, his tier 2 passive, well, when skill Elastant is used, which has with max skill cooldown 8-second cooldown, apply to self, increase skill damage by 45%, increase bonus damage by 30%, and invincible for 5 seconds. The invincible is actually the key here because that's exactly what we want to avoid getting silenced by the beast. Basically, we're going to be invincible for 5 seconds on 8 seconds, so if we can avoid getting it during the other 3 seconds, that will be optimal, but we will see. First skills is basic, it's just damage. Second skills is going to apply bleed, so it's going to be really important to keep that bleeding up on the beast. That's my opinion. Third skill is actually one of his mandatory skill. This third skills apply to self, all attack by 15%, all speed by 10%, and here critical rate by 10%. Plus it gives you a guard hits for 5 hits. That's going to last 5 seconds. Cooldown of this skills with max skill cooldown will be 7.5 seconds. So you can see one of invincible cooldown is 8 seconds and the guard hit is 7.5 seconds. So you need to space how you're going to use them so you don't use them one after the other, so you are always immune to to the damage that's going out during Alliance Battle Extreme or a Wall Boss. So it's going to be really important to find the proper rotation for this guy. Like you say, critical rate 10%, so if you have 65% on the stat sheet, you actually get your cap of 75%. Because I don't believe more, he doesn't, that you get more critical rate anywhere else. Is tier 1 passive? Well, 20% chance when attacking, apply to self, increase all speed by 5%, so that is where you're going to get the missing attack speed on this guy. Fourth skill is a stun, so pretty, so it's basically Violence Battle Extreme is just going to be, and Wall Bust just going to be some damage that we're going to get from it. And the fifth skill, well, is going to apply bleed damage. And you're going to get your invincible from that skill, so really important. And he has a kind of decent leadership, but we're not going to be using his leadership, Violence Battle Extreme or Wall Bust. We're going to be using Dark Beast leadership anyway. ISO set, you want to go with offensive ISO set. We are running with Hawkeyes here. It's not even full effect here. You can see all attacks 7.5, 7.7, 7.7 crit rate, crit damage, then 7.3 dodge, and 7.3 cooldown duration. And the offensive ISO set is going to do the job on him, since, you know, we don't consider him a meta. And for the actual obelisk, you want to go with critical damage obelisk with increased damage plus. You know, it's a pretty weak obelisk here, but like I said, he's not meta. We don't really care about how high the damage is going to be, because we already have Carnage. We're working on Apocalypse, so it's just a testing we're going to do for free-to-play players today for Alliance Battle Extreme. So with that said, guys, let's start with the first step in our in the gameplay that we're going to see. We're going to start with see if he can actually beat 12-1 on autoplay. So let's get this going. We're going to switch to him as soon as the battle starts. We're going to observe how he's using his skills on autoplay, basically. And, you know, see how fast he can actually clear. I know that 11-1 he was clearing pretty fast. That wasn't an issue at all. So we switch here. I can see he's going to use his fifth skill on cooldown, which is a really great thing for autoplay. He's using his third skill a lot too, which are the two main skill. Well, actually his damage is pretty decent here. Well, he's well built too. He's not weakly built like most characters are, so it is pretty great. I think that he's going to be able to do a great amount of damage in Alliance Battle Extreme. Basically, what we want to be able to do with him in Alliance Battle Extreme is to score over 100,000. If we can score 100,000, maybe with the current damage plus of 110, it will be optimal to be between 100 and 150,000. And if we can score that, that means he can be really close to what Sandman is doing. So a really good potential target for Alliance Battle Extreme for free-to-play player, basically. He has 2 range attack, 3 melee attack. You can see that the 5th skills and 3rd skills is actually shooting with his gun, while the other skill is actually smashing things down with his axe. Some people are going to ask me, since when Executioner use guns? Well, that's a new thing to me too. I'm guessing that in the movie Thor Ragnarok he's actually using gun. That's my guess. It was a pretty fast clear, 1 minute 14. It's about the same amount of time that yesterday in my Loki review video it took me to clear 12-1. So far, damage-wise, he's doing pretty good. Next, we're going to move to a wall bust. Let's see what's the wall bust today. The only wall bust we want to avoid, basically, is... not Villain Siege, dumbass. The wall bust we want to avoid today is Black Dwarf, and it's not Black Dwarf, it's a Body Moss. So we're going to go give a try to this. We're going to go with the same team we were using. The reason why I'm using Hulk is pretty simple as team up is because we get 4.8% cooldown duration. So you can actually you don't actually need max skill cooldown on Skurge to have him basically cap with this team up. Uh, Here's the strikers we always use. I say it in my streams. I say it when I do other review video, guys. That's always the strikers I use because those are my strikers for Wall Boss Ultimate on my boat account. So it's just easier to set them up. So we're going to start with popping the buff here, like we will do in Alliance Battle Extreme. We're going to start with the Guard It. Can see quite a lot of damage. Then the Invincible, then we can just smash things. The thing I do not know is, does the Guard It actually prevent you from getting silenced? That I do not know, sadly. That's something I will have to check. But his damage seems pretty great so far. Now, if we use the purple button, we're going to get one of his defensive skills. I didn't notice which one it was. I think it was the 5th skill, but we're going to have to go check to the team bonus screen. But you can see, took us 33 seconds to beat Bonima with 2 phase transition, which is pretty fast in my opinion, because those phase transition actually slow down things a lot. So if we look in the team up bonus, it's 3rd skill that he's actually going to use when you use his team up button with Hulk. So that's going to be really useful in Alliance Battle Extreme 2. So next, we're going to move to Alliance Battle Extreme. I'm not saying I'm going to be good there, guys. I still haven't tried him there, so it's actually going to be my first time trying him here. And well, that will be a challenge. I actually gotta change Hulk uniform because this uniform make him superhero. We gotta put a super violent uniform on him. So let's go back here. Arena, Alliance Battle. Hulk right here. So let's give it a try. First thing we're gonna do to do the testing is we're gonna start opening with the 3rd skill on switch to Skurge, just to test if we're actually going to get silence when we have Guard It activated on us. That is my main question I want an answer to. I don't think it's going to prevent silence, but we gotta test it. So let's go. Let's pop the 5th skill, switch, and let's start the rotation. Actually doing pretty good so far. It is a good potential for over 100,000. Oh, here I got hit by the meteor. We're going to have to run for our life a little bit. I need to be able to dodge more meteor basically, because the Guard It do not protect you from the meteor, and I didn't think about that, to be honest. Here we die at 47,000 after a minute, which was pretty good. So we're going to kill ourselves and go back for another try. You can see this guy has the potential to do over 150k easy in Alliance Battle Extreme. I just want to try if by doing a little bit more kiting, if I'm going to be able to you know, do a better job. I just didn't think about the Guard It and Meteor here, which is what that screwed us up right there. So let's go back for a second try and see what we are going to do. But you can see that it's actually going to be a really great score with him. I do believe that he can actually score better than Sandman, in my opinion, from what I've just seen with 110 damage brush and only a 5-star obelisk. So let's restart this. I'm not trying to set up my damage plus on any skill right now. Basically, my only worry right now is to actually survive. So that's what I'm trying to do, and not get hit by too many meteors right now. That's all I'm trying to do. See, we're already at 40,000 score here, so it's pretty good. The fourth skill seems to finish an iframe, so it's actually a pretty good skill to use. And here we're going to get it, and we're not getting silence so far, so it's working pretty great. Basically, I'm trying to get my fourth skill right before my fifth skill, so I can finish my guard its skill in iframe. 80,000 at the mark of 1 minute 30. That's actually pretty good here. Oh, so the guard it, you can actually get silence. We just got silence here. That's good though. We're doing so good here. I'm quite impressed right now, to be honest. I wasn't expecting so much damage. I don't know if the fourth skill is full iframe, but I seem to not be taking any meteor stack while I'm using it, so that's how I'm observing right now with the fourth skill. Well, a gut silence here, we got 150,000, 110% damage plus, so let's be honest guys, is the best contender in my opinion for free to play players. Even with my tier 2 Sandman, if I had the same kind of build, I would not be able to score a 200k, which this guy I could actually optimize my score for 160 plus right now. So I am pretty satisfied. So my overall opinion for this guy, guys, right now he is the underrated characters from this update. He is amazing, defensive. He is unkillable if you play him right. Offensive, he actually has a pretty damn good damage output in Alliance Battle Extreme. He's no Carnage, he's no Apocalypse, but he is very close of Carnage if you build him as good as most people have Carnage build. I can see this guy doing 200k pretty easy with a good sync in the damage pros and a much better damage pros than he currently has, and the score will be more stable than Carnage. You know, Carnage, you can do 180 sometimes and 250k sometimes, but this guy seems to be able to do about, like this build I was doing about 50k per minute. I had the, you know, at 30 seconds I was doing a little bit higher, then it went down a little bit after that, but it seems to be really stable and reliable in his damage. So if you are a free-to-play player, you get a mass, tier 2 mass, but not tier 2, a 6 stars mega rank up ticket, I will not hesitate 1 minute to drop it on him and then use my Shadowland biometrics on him to get him up there as soon as I can to mostly replace Sandman, because I think he is much better than Sandman. And even if you're not looking for Alliance Battle Extreme characters for combat villain, I do really think that this character is a good all-around characters that can be useful in all game mode. Alien Conquest, World Boss, Shallow Land, Alliance Battle Extreme is going to be amazing in all those game mode for free-to-play perspective, and even for VIP players who just need somebody that's going to be great in AC. So that's my opinion, guys. If you don't agree, let me know in the comment section. If there's other stuff you'd like me to test in my review, guys, let me know. Or just stuff you want me to talk about more, let me know, guys. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to throw me a sub if you enjoy my content. Don't forget to throw me a like if you enjoyed this video, to show me that I did an actual good job. And on that, guys, have fun. Today we'll be back with our next Thor Ragnarok character review with the Thor uniform, guys. So thank you for watching again, and have a good day, and see you tomorrow.